Okay guys, welcome to my channel. It's India. Today we're going to be doing a different type of video. We're going to be talking about migraines. So if you guys have been to my channel before, then you probably know that I suffer from migraines. I mention it like every now and then if it relates to like what I'm talking about. So I wanted to discuss it today because I have gone from having probably about 12 to 15 migraines a month to maybe like maybe two a month. And I wanted to talk about how I did it because if you suffer from migraines, you know it's really debilitating. So if you have to study, if you have to go to practice, if you have to work, if you're a parent, you have to take care of children in the evening, whatever you're doing, it's extremely debilitating to have a migraine. And really all you want to do when you get one is go lay in the dark. No lights, no sound. You don't want to hear any voices. You don't want to smell anything, nothing. You're probably nauseous. You might be vomiting, whatever. The room could be spinning. You may feel numb on one side of your body. You could go blind in one eye when you get a migraine. There's a whole lot of things that can happen when you get one that can be from mild to really severe. And so I wanted to talk about it today. I'm not going to dive into the medication side. If you guys have not been to my channel before, I am a licensed pharmacist. If you guys want me to dive into the medication side and talk about my experience with that, I can do that for you guys in a separate video. But today I'm going to talk about lifestyle modifications and because that's really what helped me with my migraines. So like I said, if you want me to talk about the medication part, leave a comment down below. Depending on how many comments other people are interested, I may film that video next to dive into the different types of medications that you use on like a daily basis, as well as what you would use when you actually get a migraine. All prescription medications, of course, but just to talk about a regimen that I use or that I have used in the past. But today we're going to talk about just lifestyle modifications. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is food. Okay, so I started getting migraines when I was probably 10 or so. I would get a headache. I was always someone who would get a headache like at least once a week. I would get a headache and I would think, you know, I don't know what it's from. I just get headaches. And so as I got older, I started getting them more frequently. And then probably when I got to like 18, 19, I started getting them all the time, like several times a week. It was like a normal thing for me to have a migraine. I was taking Advil, Excedrin, sumatriptan. If you're watching this video, you suffer from migraines, you should know what sumatriptan is. I would take that, and so it would just be like so many things that I could not figure out where it was coming from. I got a neurologist, like I had a CT scan done of my head to make sure I didn't have like a brain tumor. So many things went on, and so my doctors like kept telling me like, you know, sometimes it can come from food, like try to figure out, you know, it's called an elimination diet. Try to you know, figure out if there are any foods that you're eating that could be causing you to have these migraines so frequently. And so of course I was like, food, like no, like it's not food. I'm not about to waste my time eliminating things from my diet. Like no, it's something else. So it actually was quite a few foods that were causing my migraines. So the first thing is my birth control. So I was taking a combination birth control, which combination means it has both estrogen and progesterone in your pill. And so I started taking birth control when I was, I believe, 18, like right before I went to college. And I got on it because of my periods, because they were super duper heavy, accompanied by, this may be TMI, but like diarrhea, vomiting, like it was insane. I've missed school and all kinds of things. So my gynecologist was like, you know, start her on birth control so those can get lighter, so it's not as bad, you know, every month. So I started it for that reason. Eventually through the years, I realized through my own research and through my neurologist and my doctors that having excess estrogen in your body can contribute to migraines. So I stopped taking it and I went to a progesterone only pill. If you have ever breastfed and you are on a pill, it is a progesterone only pill. It's okay for the baby to receive that when you're breastfeeding. It's not okay for them to receive that combo pill. So that's what I take every day. It is not as effective as a combination birth control pill as far as pregnancy goes, but it is something, and it still helps me with my cramps and like lightening the bleeding that occurs when I have my cycle. So it's really, really amazing, and I have not had any problems with it, so that's wonderful. So that is the first thing. The second thing is dehydration. So you always want to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water and a lot of fluids. Like, you have to have fluids. It's extremely important, or you will be dehydrated. If you're someone who drinks cup of coffee after cup of coffee after cup of coffee, and you drink Starbucks and you drink Cokes and all of that, there's a lot of caffeine in that, and caffeine is, for one, not good for you, and for two, can cause dehydration if you're not drinking anything else in addition to that. So that's really important. I eliminated caffeine. I no longer drink coffee. I used to drink coffee every single day. Not excessively, just 1 cup. It was like my routine, 1 cup of coffee every day. When I stopped drinking caffeine, I stopped cold turkey. Like, I just stopped drinking coffee. That was it. I just stopped. I had a migraine, a continuous migraine, for probably about 96 hours. Probably about 4 to 5 days, I had a migraine, and it would not go away. There was absolutely nothing you could do to get rid of the migraine. And so I basically just had to suffer for about 4 to 5 days, and eventually it went away, and that was wonderful. And I haven't had a cup of coffee since then, and that was probably about 2 years ago. So you think you can't do it, but you can. And honestly, it's fine. You can drink, I don't even drink decaf coffee. Decaf coffee from Starbucks especially is strong. Okay, it's still strong. You can still taste the caffeine in it. And so I avoid that as well. So if I want something, I normally just don't get anything. They have like vanilla bean frappuccino, I think does not have any caffeine in it. I've had that before. Or I'll get like, I love their juices. They're like fresh squeezed juices, so those are nice. Like if I go to Starbucks and I just want to get something. But of course you can try decaf and see, you know, how you react to it. But for me, it's still a little too strong, especially from Starbucks. So there's that. So that's the pill. That's getting rid of caffeine. That's staying hydrated. Then of course there's everyone's favorite friend who's over 21, alcohol. So I can't drink either. When I go out and I drink, I prepare for it basically. So I drink Pedialyte, which has a lot of electrolytes in it. What happens when you drink alcohol is you get dehydrated. And so the best thing to do for that is to combat the dehydration with replenishing your electrolytes. So Pedialyte is wonderful for that. And I usually take 1 Excedrin as well. So this is not something I do every day. It's like when I go out, which could be once a week, could be once a month, where I decide that I want to have a drink. That's what I do. Bottle of Pedialyte and Excedrin, and then I'm usually good. But it's not like, oh, I do that every day so I could drink a glass of wine. Like, no, we're not going to do that, because the more medication you take, the more your body is going to become accustomed to it, and it's going to stop working for you eventually. And the more chance that you have for rebound headaches, the more medication that you take. So you want to watch out for that as well. So let's go ahead and dive right into the foods. So there are a lot of foods. It's a very, very long list. You can find it online, a list of foods that possibly cause migraines. And so my biggest thing is actually tomatoes. So I was eating a lot of tomatoes. You probably don't think about how much tomato you actually eat, because when people think like tomatoes, they literally think like a tomato like diced up that you're eating it. But tomatoes are in so many things. Like tomatoes, it's a base for sauces. So if you eat spaghetti and meat sauce, spaghetti and meatballs, you eat salsa, you eat guacamole, guacamole has tomatoes in it. Some people, if they make okra gumbo, it's a tomato base. It could be so many things. Hold on, guys. That was so weird. I don't know what that was. Okay. But yeah, so tomatoes can be in so so many things, and you really don't realize that it's in everything until you can't eat it anymore. And it's like, oh, you want lasagna? I hope it's white lasagna because you're not going to be eating it. You eat mozzarella sticks, you're going to have to dip them in ranch now because you can't have marinara. Like, there's so many things, but eliminating tomatoes out of my diet has been the best thing for me. Literally the best thing. I have not eaten anything with tomatoes in it in it's been at least a year, if not 2 years, since I've eaten tomatoes or anything with tomatoes in it, and it is the best thing for me. It can be a hassle, but once you become accustomed to it, like anytime I see something that's red, I'm like, I can't eat it. It probably has tomatoes in it because you'll just become accustomed to it. It's going to be difficult at first. You'll probably forget, but the more you do it, the more you'll be like, oh yeah, I can't eat that. Now, of course, it's not going to be the same for everyone. You may be totally fine with tomatoes and it not cause any problems for you, but for me, that's my biggest one. So that one, avocados, I can't decide if it's on the list or not. I'm still kind of in between with that. Chocolate is on the list as well. Chocolate is my favorite thing in the world. I love it so much. I basically replaced my love for chocolate with a love for caramel. So I'll eat chocolate every now and then. Like, I found, like, if I eat like one chocolate chip cookie or like a scoop of, like, I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. So like if I eat a scoop of that, I'm usually fine. But like eating it excessively is gonna be a no-go for me. Cannot eat like a ton of it. Like eating, you know, 3, 4, and 5 brownies like I used to do. I can't do that anymore. I have not had a brownie in years. I don't even know what would happen if I ate one. So yeah, I pretty much avoid chocolate. Let me drink a little water. So my next thing is peanuts. Oh my God. I remember I was eating, this was during the time I was trying to figure out like what were my triggers and what wasn't. And so I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was starving. I ate it. The next day, I was dead. My head was pounding like, oh my God, I have not eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich since that day. And I know that that was it because I hadn't eaten anything else that could have been on the list for a chance for it to cause migraine. So I knew it was the peanut butter. And I was like, okay, no more peanut butter for me. So that means no more Reese's, that's peanut butter and chocolate. No more Snickers ice cream because that has chocolate in it and it has peanuts. And there's just so much, like so much you have to avoid, but it just like, it is what it is. No more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, like whatever, it is what it is. I'm trying to think what else is on my list. I think those are my biggest things. Tomatoes, peanut butter, bananas are on my list. So like I used to eat banana bread from Starbucks. I used to really like that, but I can't eat that anymore. And so I think those are my biggest things. I just wanted to mention that because foods is kind of like the last thing you would think of when you think of migraines and like what could be causing them, but it's a huge thing for me. So I always recommend when I hear someone who suffers from migraines that you do the elimination diet. Like just try it. Just look at the list and just be like, okay, which of these things do I eat pretty frequently? Excuse me, and try to figure out what could be causing it. I'm telling you, it'll be so much better. Like the less medication you take, the better your life will be, like especially if you're on a maintenance medication, like something that you take every day to try to prevent migraines. If you could get off of that and just only have to take medication when you actually get a migraine, that would be amazing. So I just wanted to mention that. The last thing I'm going to mention, because my channel is devoted to hair, is hair and having things on your head that are heavy or that are tight. When I first started my channel, I did a lot of wig reviews, and I actually don't wear wigs anymore. If I wear a wig, it's strictly for a review video, and I may, you know, post some pictures in it. I may wear it for a few hours like that night, and that'll be it. I do not wear wigs. I cannot tolerate anything like that on my head. I can't wear baseball caps because they're too tight. I cannot have that tension around my head from the wig, trying to keep it, you know, in place. I cannot have like heavy box braids and heavy twist and stuff like that weighing down. And when I say heavy, like heavy to me may not be heavy to you. So I know how much hair I can tolerate in my head. And I love crochet braid styles, and the type that I wear is what I have in right now. It's a lighter weight because it's a natural texture. And so this is really, really great. It's super light. It looks like it's a lot of hair because it's full, but it's light. Trust me, if I'm telling you it's light, okay, and I'm wearing it in my head, it's light, okay? So that is another thing. So watch out if you wear wigs, if you wear baseball caps, if you wear your hair in like tight buns, or like if you're natural, you wear those puffs on top of your head, you try to slick it back into a ponytail, like all that can cause a migraine. Like if you suffer from them, and you know, you will do anything to like try to avoid one. And so like sometimes if I want to wear my hair like in a tight puff, I just go ahead and take an Excedrin before I do it, because I already know I might as well just do it for prophylaxis, because I already know that I'm gonna get a migraine by the end of the day. So yeah, that is that. I just wanted to do this video just to let you know, if you're suffering from migraines, some things you should look into that are not medication related, just to kind of see if you can figure out what is causing them. The best thing to do, if you can figure out what's causing them, it's so much better, so that you know exactly like how to combat it, you know, in the future, so to, you know, decrease the amount that you're getting every month. So that is it. Like I said, if you guys want me to dive into the medication part, comment down below. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about anything that I mentioned in this video, or if you have, you know, a kind of a weird trigger for your migraines, comment it down below, because someone else may be experiencing the same thing as well, and that could help someone else out. So just go ahead and leave everything down below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more about this hair, I will link it in the description box down below. If you want to know about my makeup, I will link the video down below for that as well. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.